Arrival in a broken world. The year was 2157, and Earth was barely recognizable. Skies choked with ash, cities swallowed by rising seas. Nations had dissolved into fractured territories ruled by despots, warlords, or rogue AIs. Humanity had once conquered the atom, the genome, and the stars, but none of it had saved them from themselves. War had become a cycle, feeding itself with ever-evolving weapons and fading morals. Major Lena Voss crouched behind the charred remains of a monorail pillar, her rifle steady in her arms. Below her, two scavenger gangs exchanged gunfire over what was once a hydroelectric substation. She hadn't come to join the fight, she had come to stop it. But every time she tried to talk peace, someone pulled the trigger first. "Command, this is Voss," she said into her comlink. "This zone's a lost cause. Pull the evac shuttles back before we lose more medics." "Copy that," came the weary voice of command. Another failed corridor? She didn't respond. What was the point? Then the sky ripped open. A soft vibration trembled through the earth, unlike any weapon she had ever heard. Overhead, a glowing fissure split the clouds like a silver scar. From it emerged dozens of vessels, sleek, smooth, and pulsing with pale blue light. They hovered in perfect silence, triangular and elegant, casting no shadows. The gunfire stopped. Everyone, scavengers, soldiers, even drones, looked up. One of the ships descended, slowly, almost reverently. A translucent dome opened at its base. From within emerged tall figures, clad in flowing metallic robes, their elongated heads adorned with bioluminescent filaments. Their skin shimmered with iridescent hues, shifting gently like oil on water. "Veldorians," someone whispered through the radio. "They're real." A global transmission overrode all frequencies. "We are the Veldorian Peacekeepers. Your world cries out in pain. We come not to conquer, but to heal. Your war's end now, not by force, but by choice. Let us help you remember who you were before the fire." Silence blanketed the planet. For the first time in years, there was no gunfire, no shouting, only stillness. Lena lowered her weapon, slowly. Her breath caught in her throat, not in fear, but in something she hadn't felt in a long time. Hope. Hours later, back at the Resistance's base near the old Norwegian fjords, chaos reigned. The Veldorian broadcast had triggered mass confusion, panic, and desperate hope across the world. Some called them saviors, others invaders. Lena was summoned to a secure briefing. On the screen, images from every continent showed Veldorian vessels deploying shimmering energy fields between rival factions, halting battles mid-charge. No casualties, no weapons fired. "They're setting up a summit in Geneva," the commander said. "They want a human representative from each surviving coalition." Lena folded her arms. "And they want me? You kept your head while the rest of the world was on fire. You're going." She looked out the window. In the distance, one of the silver ships hovered above the ruins, casting a soft blue glow on the frozen earth. "I'll go," she said, "but I'm not shaking hands with an alien until I know they don't have claws behind their backs." Bridging worlds, healing wounds. The Geneva Peace Dome still stood, though barely. Its once glass arches were cracked and stained with smoke, surrounded by rusted defense turrets and the hollowed-out ruins of the old city. Now, it served a new purpose, a neutral ground between species. Major Lena Voss stepped inside, flanked by two unarmed escorts. Her eyes scanned the room. Delegates from scattered human factions sat stiffly around a circular table, all watching the same thing. The Veldorians. They stood with fluid grace, 5 of them, towering calm, unarmed. No armor, no weapons, only robes that shimmered with moving patterns, maps of stars, if Lena had to guess. One of them stepped forward. Unlike the others, this one's filaments glowed a softer green, and his eyes, wide, deep, and alien, settled directly on her. "I am Vel Khan," he said, his voice a melodic echo inside her mind, not her ears. "You are Major Lena Voss. You've lost much, and still you stand." "Standing is easy," she said. "It's getting others to do the same that's hard." Vel Khan inclined his head slightly. spoken like one who leads with burden, not pride. That is a language we understand. The conference began with cautious introductions. Velkan spoke not of dominance or conversion, but of restoration. He explained their purpose: to assist species on the brink of self-extinction, not as rulers, but as guides. He presented an offer: Veldorian nanotechnology to neutralize radiation zones, AI arbitration systems for ceasefires, and energy infrastructure to replace weapons manufacturing. Peace is not the absence of war, Velkan said. It is the presence of empathy, enforced not by threat, but by shared benefit. Lena listened, skeptical. She'd heard plenty of promises from people who wanted power. When it was her turn to speak, she stood. Let me be clear. You come in peace. That's your claim. But we've seen false saviors before. If this is about control, you won't get far. Not with me. Velkan nodded. We do not seek to control. We seek to understand. But first, we must show what peace can be. As if on cue, a holographic projection filled the dome. Live feeds from around the globe. Places that were war zones hours ago now showed Veldorian ships deploying force fields between armies. Not a single life lost. In refugee camps, clean water flowed from Veldorian processors. Medical nanodrones treated wounds in real time. And then came the blast. An explosion rocked the Peace Dome. Screams followed. Alarms blared. From a northern entrance, human saboteurs stormed in, heavily armed, screaming that Earth must stay human and pure. Aliens out, they cried, firing wildly. Velkan stood calmly, a shimmering shield flaring around him as Lena tackled him to cover. Her instincts kicked in. She returned fire, disabling 2 attackers. Security rushed in, detaining the rest. When the dust cleared, Velkan looked at her, unshaken. You protected me, he said softly. I protect allies, Lena replied, even the ones I don't fully trust. He gave the slightest smile. Then perhaps there is hope after all. The Peace Corps initiative. The attack on the Geneva summit had changed everything. The world saw it live. Humans opening fire on beings who came unarmed, who offered only aid. The footage of Major Lena Voss shielding Velkan went viral, rebroadcast across every surviving network. To some, she became a symbol of traitorous collaboration. But to millions more, she became something far rarer. A symbol of hope. 2 weeks later, Lena stood on a landing platform just outside Reykjavik, now cleared and restored by Veldorian terraforming drones. Snow fell lightly, but beneath it lay fresh grass and warmed earth, signs of healing, courtesy of Veldorian soil-purifying tech. Velkan approached her, his robe fluttering in the wind. His bioluminescent filaments now pulsed with a deep blue glow, calm, receptive. You requested to lead the joint initiative, he said. I did, Lena replied. We call ourselves the Peace Corps. Not soldiers, not occupiers, builders, restorers. One human, one Veldorian, paired on every mission. No weapons, only tools. That's the agreement. He tilted his head thoughtfully. You ask much of your people. Many of them still clutch to fear. She nodded. Fear's easy. Change is hard. But if we don't do this now, there might not be a later. They began their first deployment that same day. In a shattered cityscape of Lagos, where rising seas had swallowed half the coastline and civil war had taken the rest, the Peace Corps made their debut. Lena and Velkan led the team. Beside them, humans in patched uniforms worked with Veldorian engineers to deploy solar nets, desalination rigs, and mobile medical pods. The first resistance came not from bullets, but from silence. Survivors peered from broken windows, watching with suspicion. Local warlords had warned them, don't trust the aliens, don't trust the woman who kneels beside them. But then the miracles began. A child, burned from a drone strike, was treated by Veldorian nanodrones in minutes. Her pain gone, her skin whole. The rains, once acidic, were filtered into drinking water by Veldorian atmospheric scrubbers. Food replicators, portable fusion-fed synthesizers, served meals to those who hadn't eaten in days. And, slowly, people stepped forward. A young boy handed Lena a hand-drawn picture, her standing beside a tall, glowing figure. Velkan accepted it, examining the crayon art with fascination. "You've begun something, Major Voss," he said. "Something rare. But peace had enemies. General Son, a notorious technocrat who ruled the Eurasian wastes, declared the Peace Corps a threat to human sovereignty. In a broadcast hijacking the public networks, he declared, 'Humanity bows to no alien. These peacekeepers are invaders in disguise, and their human allies are worse, traitors to their blood.' He issued a warning, 'Leave his territory or face extermination.'" Lena watched the footage in silence, jaw tight. "We knew this would happen," she said. "People like Son thrive in chaos. If we succeed, they lose power." Velkan's glow dimmed. "And if we fail?" She met his gaze. "Then Earth loses everything." The last battle without bullets. The skies over the Eurasian wastes burned orange with chemical smog as Lena Voss descended into enemy territory. She wore no armor, carried no weapon, only a portable Veldorian projector strapped to her back, pulsing with soft blue light. Around her, silence loomed. No troops, no Peace Corps backup, no escape route. Just her and General Son. The stronghold loomed ahead, a towering slab of rusted steel and salvaged alloys, bristling with railguns and surveillance drones. It had once been a power station. Now, it was a fortress housing over 2,000 unwilling civilians, kept as leverage. Inside, Peace Corps workers taken hostage during a failed aid mission waited for rescue. Lena didn't come for war. She came for something harder. Dialogue. 2 guards greeted her with raised rifles. She didn't flinch. "I'm here for Son. He wants a demonstration of alien lies. Let's give him one." They searched her, found no weapon, no threat. She was escorted inside, eyes tracking every movement. General Son sat on a makeshift throne in the control chamber, draped in old-world military medals and stolen pride. His eyes burned with contempt. "No armor, no backup. You really believe you can talk your way out of this, Major?" "I didn't come to talk my way out," she said. "I came to show you what you're afraid of." She tapped the projector. Instantly, the room shimmered with holographic light. All around them, 3-dimensional projections flared to life, scenes from across the world. A once-blasted field, now filled with crops. War children laughing beside Veldorian mentors. A ruined slum rebuilt into a school. All done by Peace Corps teams, human and Veldorian, working side by side. Then came the darker images. Scenes of Son's past atrocities. Executions. Resource hoarding. Entire villages bombed to maintain control. Every screen, every surface in his compound now bore witness to his crimes. "You rule through fear," Lena said quietly. "But the world's watching now, and they're remembering what it means to hope." Outside, a crowd was forming, civilians drawn by the broadcast, some weeping, others rising. Inside, Son stood frozen. "You think this will change them?" he spat. "Humans are animals. They'll always need someone like me." "No," Lena said. "They'll remember they don't." Behind her, doors burst open, not with soldiers but unarmed civilians. His own people, once too afraid to resist, now emboldened by truth. Son reached for a sidearm. Lena didn't move. It was a child, barely 12, who stepped forward and took the weapon from him. The stronghold fell that day without a single shot fired. Later, as Veldorian vessels arrived to evacuate the freed hostages, Velkan stood beside Lena, watching the sunrise. "You fought your final battle with no weapons," he said, "and won." "I didn't win," Lena said. "We did. Humanity. Veldorians. Together." He nodded. "Then peace has a chance." The world didn't change overnight, but it changed that night. And peace, real, lasting peace, had begun.